Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of On the Paint Table. It's my weekly show where you see what I got done, what I'm working on, and what is coming up. So, plowing on through the rest of my Ultramarine stuff to get like 1,000 points, like finished painted, basically, all detailed and stuff. So I can play some games against Owen last week. I got that done. I've got some stuff sitting at home assembling. So I've got a Intercessor squad that I want to paint out for the Ultramarines as well. And an Ironclad Dreadnought. I've got a whole bunch of stuff stripping for Warhammer Quest. You saw this week my first game with Chris where we had our new adventuring party go out and have some adventures. As we've played another mission after that, you'll see in 2 weeks. And we've gotten the people that are the people in the group. I don't want to spoil anything. Anyway, the survivors are hitting half battle level 2. So I want to add some sort of like more fighty beasties. And that means adding in some chaos stuff, I think. I've got a little collection. Big thanks to Greg Collinson, actually. He was going to just get rid of his old Chaos Army from when he was younger, and it's like a 5th edition like fantasy Chaos Army with some really cool pieces in it. There's some ogres from I think Battle Masters or one of the like GW collab board games. There's some awesome Chaos Warriors from Battle Masters. There's a bunch of like really neat like metal bits and stuff. Do some Dragon Ogres. I'm gonna strip it all down and repaint it for Quest, and I've got a little project basically of like 4 or 5 entries. And what's cool is Quest came with cards, so I can actually fill out the details on cards too and shuffle them into the deck and play. So my battle level 2 stuff is basically ready to rock and roll. We can modify the deck with bigger, badder monsters. And the cool thing about that is Quest, because you need more and more gold to level as you go up. So like from battle level 2 to 3. You need like, it goes 2,000 and 4,000 and 6,000. It's not like the difference in the gold you have, you spend that gold. So it's 3 times as much to get to battle level 3 as it is to get to battle level 4 is to battle level 2. So it ramps up. You do want to fight bigger monsters. They are more dangerous, but it does speed up the gameplay quite a bit. You level appropriately basically when you start doing it. By the end, you're fighting like bloodthirsters and like all kinds. It gets pretty, when you're battle level 10, there's not a lot you're not fighting in Warhammer. Yeah, and then I got some other projects on the go. I got like bits and pieces I want to do for a bunch of different games, but let's see what I got done and what is coming up. So here's my painted miniatures for this week. I finished off my 3 Outriders, my Primaris Captain with his Relic Shield, my Judiceer, and then the unit of Blade Guard Veterans. I'm really stoked with how they all came out. I don't know, this Ultramarines army is just super fun to paint. It's relatively easy and quick to get done. It's going to look good with vehicles too. I liked weathering all of the bikes. Just doing like the battle damage, like the chipping on them, and then just adding some details to the bases just to make them match my other tech bases. And yeah, I feel sharp when they're done. I really like the Blade Guard Veterans. I think the white really pops. I want to get another box of these. GW just actually spoiled the multi-part kit with like bear heads and stuff too, so I'm gonna buy a box of those, I think, and that's how I'll make my like champion, my actual like sergeant model, and a few other dudes. This guy's just the best. I cannot see not taking him now, because the ability to make a unit fight last, like, it's so powerful. You'd have the Swarm Lord pile into you or a knight or something, and you just go, nope, I'm gonna Hermione time turner that, and then just dumpster him with like a million different like relic, master blaster blade, whatever attacks. It's super sweet. It's very satisfying. It's cool to be able to play a Space Marine army in melee that doesn't suck in melee. And so I think the Assault Intercessors, I don't know. I'm tempted. I gave Owen my half of the Indomitus box that was Necrons, but I'm enjoying playing my Necron army too. And I'm considering just rebasing everything on 32s and grabbing another Indomitus box and splitting it and just like adding more Assault Intercessors, and I don't know how deep I want to go into the Ultramarines, or maybe just trying to find a Necron half of the box, but I do really want more bikes and more Assault Intercessors, and to make like a salty, like, I think it's the 7th company's the Assault Company in the Ultramarines chapter, Primaris Army, just a lot of fun. But then I also want to paint the tanks. Like, I'm so torn, because like the Owen half of me wants to spam the things I like and make them good and like paint lots more of them, but then the Ash part of me says, just paint a unit of everything you like and do that and play that way. And I don't know, they fight in my head all the time. So anyway, those all got done. And yeah, so if you didn't follow the last video, the base coat for all the blue is Green Stuff World Cobalt Blue, airbrushed on over gloss black. And then it's scale 75 Viking Gold for the gold trim and stuff. The bases are all the GW Sector Mechanicum bases, with the exception of he has a molded base in the box, and I just use the details to do the big bike bases. Any of the specific questions you can just ask me, but that's the nuts and bolts of getting this done quickly. And I'm really happy with them. I'm going to work on the last 2 models from the Indomitus box, which is the Blade Guard Ancient and the Chap one. I probably won't use them that much, but I just want to get the box done. And it's 2 models left. And then working on just regular Intercessor Squad, and then I think it's, I want to paint an Ironclad Dread, because I'll be honest, the only primary thing I'm not a big fan of is the Redemptor Dreads. They're just... I love the old boxy dreadnoughts so much more, and so I'm going to do a couple Ironclads to go with this as an assault army, I think, and have like just be like, well, whatever, you can stick Primaris Marines in those things too. It doesn't like the dreadnought doesn't care what kind of Marine's sitting in it, so I have those to fight some melees and stuff as well. That's what I got done. So 8 models this week. And here's some stuff coming up. So first things first, I got the legendary world champion of, Tabletop Simulator Song of Ice and Fire, Clarence Lee, coming to play some games next week. And I figured I would up my neutrals game and add some air quotes new units, even though they're not, I haven't kept up with this game at all because I haven't had a chance to play it in 6 months. So, the units I hadn't painted in a box, and I was like, I'll use something new. So some Stormcrow Mercenaries and Captains to add to my neutrals. I have a few more options for my Boltons. And then I've got the alternate. I already have the alternate Brienne and Braun painted, but I'll paint the new ones to suss out like some new list building stuff. And then he's painted an entire Night's Watch army while he was basically like living down the craziness in the world, and so his Night's Watch will come and play some games against my Starks and my neutrals. N4 is coming, and my N4 like launch army, I think I'm gonna play 012, just because like they didn't really get tons of stuff in N3. They were just sort of like a vanilla list, and I'm excited for this new faction to play more Space Cops. So I want to get through them. This is my backlog. This is stuff I gotta paint. I gotta paint the support pack. I gotta paint the Team Sirius, the Alpha unit, the Delta unit. So the Delta unit, these ones I hadn't painted yet from my selection of stuff for just like standard, Code 1. You can't use these units in Code 1 because they require a bunch of special rules. So like the Alpha unit's like a multi-base model, and then this is like a sort of a team, and those just not. It's a simplified version of Infinity, so they don't exist, but they exist in N4, I'm sure. So I'm gonna get them painted up and ready to rock and roll, so that when N4 rolls out, we can play some games right away. So you got another episode of On the Paint Table done and on the books. Lots of cool new stuff coming up, I think, at Gen Con Live this weekend. So if you haven't been paying attention, there's lots of announcements from Osprey. There's lots of like new sort of like game info getting talked about. So check out the link and you should be able to see some videos from all your favorite companies as to what's coming. And then of course, next week, I'll be back with more, what's next week? More Space Hulk. We've got more 40K coming. We've got more, no, not for more 40K, more, Age of Sigmar, rounding off the solo campaign for Age of Sigmar, and yeah, tons of other stuff. So anyway, we'll see you next week for more of this On the Paint Table and see what I get finished. Hopefully I get through the majority of that stuff. I'd like to get all that Song of Ice and Fire stuff painted, and I do really want to get to work on N4 stuff for my 012, and a few more units for my Yuching and Pano as well, because obviously I got the Winter 4 I can try out too. All my Code 1 stuff was basically prepping for N4, so I have 3 armies like ready to rock and roll and play some N4 games that I'm super jazzed about. And so we'll see you then, and we'll be, I guess, like adding to the total, 8 this week, not too bad. I have no idea what my actual total for the year is now. I'll have to, hopefully someone can figure it out and post in the comments, because I don't actually remember anymore. We'll see you next week for more. Until then, I'm Ash. Happy gaming. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to support the channel, of course, like and subscribe and hit the little bell below so you get notifications when I post future content. I do post stuff 7 days a week. If you want to support the channel further, you can, of course, buy a t-shirt through Spreadshirts, buy a measuring gauge or objective markers from Death Ray Designs, or, of course, most importantly, there is Patreon. Patreon is what makes all this possible, keeps the lights on, pays for the studio costs, pays for the equipment, model costs, and everything else, and most importantly, puts food in my kids' bellies and a roof over their heads. Big thanks to everyone, past, future, who supported me. I do this stuff because of you guys, and of course, I will continue doing it as long as I can.